There was a clan in Mongolia that were very tidy-minded. They didn't think their horses were properly herded unless they were all grouped together on low ground. Their leader was called Aslantai Mergan Khan. One morning he came out from his tent and he saw that the horses were scattered, and lying on the ground there were the remains of the hooves of one of them. He looked, he saw the grass flattened in a direction against the prevailing wind. He saw a twig that had been broken. He saw a clump of animal fur on the edge of a rock. And he thought, 1, 2, 3 wolves have stolen one of my horses and eaten it. And he vowed to destroy them. So he went hunting the wolves and he picked out a chestnut horse. Now this chestnut horse was the foal of a young chestnut mare. Now the wolves were long gone by this time, but they got together and they spoke to one another in their wolf language. They said, Aslantai Mergan Khan will hunt us today. He will hunt us on a chestnut horse. This chestnut horse will be the foal of a young chestnut mare. It will have strength, but it won't have wit. So we will run up the mountain. It will be able to chase us. But when we go down the other side and we're on the scree slope and we have to pick our way carefully, it won't have the intelligence to follow us down. And that is precisely what happened. Aslantai Mergan Khan, his dogs caught the scent of the wolves and he chased them up the mountain. And when they got to the top, they ran down the other side and his horse was not able to pick a difficult path through the scree. The next day, Aslantai Mergan Khan went out to hunt the wolves again. The wolves got together and they said, Aslantai Mergan Khan will hunt us again today. He will hunt us on another chestnut horse, but this chestnut horse will be the foal of an old chestnut mare. So it will be able to pick a path down the difficult scree slope, but it won't have the stamina to run up the other side. And that is precisely what happened. Aslantai Mergan Khan's dogs caught the scent of the wolves. He chased them. He chased them down a mountainside. His horse picked its way through the difficult scree slope, but didn't have the stamina to chase the wolves up the next mountain. That night, the wolves got together. They said, let's go and eat another horse. But they couldn't decide which horse to eat. One of them wanted to eat a skinny chestnut horse with a white blaze down its nose. And they said, no, there's not enough flesh on that. Let's have a nice plump young filly. And they argued all night until it was time to leave and they still hadn't killed a horse. And they said, today he will hunt us again. But we will meet on the back of the Altai Kangai mountain. We will meet on the flanks of that skinny chestnut horse that he'll ride today. We will meet on the shoulders of Aslantai Mergan Khan. And he did hunt them. And he chose that day the skinny chestnut horse with the white blaze down its nose. And this chestnut horse was the foal of a wild chestnut mare. And when he chased them up the mountain, this horse had the stamina to reach the top after the wolves. And when they went down the other side of the mountain, this horse had the intelligence to pick its way down the difficult scree slope. And still yet more stamina to chase them up onto the next Altai Kangai mountain. And there, on the Altai Kangai mountain, those wolves did meet. And they did meet across the flanks of that wild chestnut horse because Aslantai Mergan Khan killed them with his spear and he skinned them and he put their skins over the back of his horse. And when he reached his camp, he ordered the skins to be prepared and made into a fine jacket for him. So they did meet over the shoulders of Aslantai Mergan Khan.